Hello and welcome to Rebel to Rise, where business meets human design. I'm Erin Hines, your darn good business coach, here to help you break the rules, trust your instincts, and own your brilliance unapologetically. In this space, we blend the power of human design with real-world business strategy so you can ditch the shoulds, embrace your true self, and create a life and career that lights you up every single day. Ready to rebel, rise, and redefine success on your terms? Let's dive into today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to Rebel to Rise, the podcast where we ditch the grind and build a business that feels damn good to run. Today we're talking about one of the sneakiest traps ambitious leaders and business owners fall into: being busy, but not making meaningful progress. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those days where you check 25 things off your to-do list, answer all the emails, maybe even do a post on social, but somehow you still end up feeling behind. Frustrated, wondering, what the hell did I even do today? I cannot tell you the number of times I have lived those days. In this episode, I'm going to help you spot the difference between action and distraction, and yes, even the productive kind of distraction. I'll tell you how to reclaim your time and energy with intention. I'll give you a few tips on using your human design to spot what is creating more friction in your productivity. And I'll walk you through how to start shifting out of busy work and into aligned action. And just so you know, this episode has a bit of tough love, but I have a feeling it might be just what you need. So, to start, I'll be blunt. Just because you're working hard does not mean you're working on the right things. Let me say that again. Just because it's a work-related task does not mean it's not a distraction. That quote is actually from a book I've been reading by Nir All, author of Indistractable. And what struck me most was that it calls out what so many of us do. We hide behind, quote, productive tasks so we don't have to do the uncomfortable ones, the ones that move the needle. I used to be the queen of this and did it for so many years. I'm talking color-coded, notebooks, sticky notes, the whole caboodle. The satisfaction from physically checking each item off was amazing. It was exciting that I had one less thing to do on my list. I was busy from the moment I opened my laptop to the moment I was falling asleep, scrolling through social media for inspiration. But I was constantly wondering, why am I not hitting my goals? Why am I still stuck in the same place months later? It was clearly not a lack of effort. I was putting in the effort. The real issue was I didn't have clarity on what the most important things were. I didn't know how to structure my time to actually make progress. And I was prioritizing the urgent over the important. I was reacting to everything and everyone around me instead of carving out space for the stuff that actually mattered. Here's a little word nerd moment from Nir All's book. We all think the opposite of distraction is focus, right? It's not. The literal antonym of distraction is traction. Traction is any action that pulls you towards what you said you were going to do. So, if you were planning on writing a new sales page today, but you somehow found yourself deep cleaning your inbox instead, that's distraction, even though doing a new sales page was technically productive. Now, that doesn't mean you can't check your email or tidy up. But if you didn't intend to do that in the first place, that means you've been pulled off track. This is why so many to-do lists fail us. They're bottomless pits with no time constraints. You're reactive instead of being intentional with what you're going to focus on. And when you don't finish everything on your to-do list, it could leave you feeling like crap. Like you failed before you even started. And that, without a doubt, is how I felt every single day. What was wrong with me? Was I even cut out for this? What was I doing wrong? The answer lied in what's really going on when we're constantly busy. Busyness is a coping mechanism. Yes, it is a coping mechanism. Busy work gives the illusion of productivity, but in reality, it's often avoidance in disguise. When we're constantly in motion, doing stuff, it feels like we're getting somewhere. But have you tried zooming out? You might be running in circles, hoping to feel accomplished. Here's what I've learned the hard way. Busy isn't always bad, but it's not always purposeful. It could lack intention behind the busy work. And sometimes busyness is a buffer so you don't have to feel the uncomfortable emotions, like fear of failure, imposter syndrome, not knowing what to do next, or my personal favorite, avoiding feeling like we're behind because we should have already had it all figured out now. When we feel discomfort, stress, self-doubt, our brain wants to avoid those feelings. So it finds productive things to distract us so we don't feel those uncomfortable feelings. For some of us, that's overworking. For others, it's perfectionism. For me, it was saying yes to every task because I didn't want to let anyone down. And if you're anything like me, raised by women who never stopped moving, who kept busy even when they were sick, tired, and clearly burning out, then being busy can feel safe. I grew up seeing my grandma and mom constantly on the go. If something needed doing, they did it. Rest, that was indulgent. So as an adult, I internalized this because I was conditioned. I would fill every second of my day. If I wasn't doing something, I felt guilty, lazy, like I was letting myself or someone else down. Even now, I catch myself reaching for busy work when I'm feeling stressed or uncertain, just to feel like I'm in control. And it's very sneaky. But the truth is, busy isn't better, it's just noisier. Responding to every message instantly, tinkering with that Canva graphic instead of having a sales conversation, cleaning the kitchen instead of outlining your proposal. All those might feel urgent, but not all work is created equal. Some of it is just noise. Some of it is you avoiding that one uncomfortable thing you know would make a real impact. Some of it's emotional. You're doing more so you don't have to feel like you're falling behind. It doesn't matter how busy I am if my offer I'm supposed to be promoting sits untouched. My busyness is just distraction disguised as productive, and it's running the show. One exercise I love is asking yourself, why am I doing this? Before you start any task. If the answer is to avoid something else, pause. Get curious. Ask, what are you avoiding and why? This is where human design could offer real insight. If you don't have your human design chart, you could download it for free on my website. And what I want you to look at is your centers, those shapes in the center of your chart. If you have an undefined root center, you might constantly feel pressure to do more, just to get relief from internal pressure. And that's not productivity. That's panic disguised as progress. Also take a look if you have an undefined ego center. If you do, you might be tying your worth to what you get done, which means your to-do list is secretly running your self-esteem. Knowing your human design lets you notice those patterns and start rewriting them. The more you know yourself and understanding where those emotions are coming from allows you to not let them control you, to not dictate what you're able to accomplish. So now let's talk about how you could shift from being chronically busy to intentionally productive. And the number one to be more productive is not by doing more. You need to be doing what matters. Because remember, not everything that feels urgent is important. Just because a client message popped up does not mean it needs your attention right away. You need time for deep work and time to be in response mode. Don't mix deep work with response mode. The number one killer of focus is actually other people, be it dropping in or a ping, ding, or ring. Set boundaries so you could protect your time like the sacred resource it is. If you're constantly being interrupted or something's popping into your view to distract you, it's going to be really hard to accomplish what you set out to accomplish. This is also where time blocking and planning with intention comes in. The almighty to-do list. She looks so innocent until 6 p.m. rolls around and you're left wondering, how have I been working all day, but somehow checked off nothing that actually mattered? Here's the problem. To-do lists don't have boundaries. It doesn't respect your time. It will keep growing like a weed, and it doesn't care if you only have 5 hours of focused work or you're running on fumes. This is where a calendar is a great way to set boundaries. It helps you protect your energy, your focus, and helps you finish the damn thing without 47 tab switches or an Instagram scroll in between. Instead of starting the day with a never-ending to-do list, try intentionally blocking time. When I started time blocking my days, it did wonders on my productivity. Actually scheduling in time to do those needle moving actions and doing that action within the blocked off time was key. If I blocked off 2 hours to get this podcast recorded, edited, and scheduled, it gives me a deadline, a constraint to get it all done within that time. Yet, if I didn't have that constraint, I didn't have that 2 hours blocked off on my calendar, I would be stretching producing this episode over days. It would take so much longer to get done because I'd allow myself to take breaks or quickly get something else done in between trying to produce this episode. So I challenge you to time block your days for just 1 week. Don't be afraid to adjust and refine as you go, because nothing is set in stone, and experimenting with this is going to help you find what works for you. Letting your calendar reflect what actually matters is key, because when your calendar doesn't reflect what matters, your to-do list will just reflect what distracts you from your goals. And I also want to say the importance of reflection. So after you experiment with time blocking for 1 week, ask yourself, did I follow what I said I was going to do each day? Or did I finish every single task that popped into my head? There's a difference between accomplishing what you set out to do or just doing whatever came to you. This reflection piece is so easily skipped, but it's so important. I can't stress that enough. Reflection and awareness is so key to success. Being aware of what worked, what felt good, what moved you forward allows you to celebrate your progress and train your brain to trust that you're already doing enough. And it helps you build momentum and not just movement for movement's sake. And I do feel like I should say, by no means are to-do lists death traps. They are a great way to keep your task all in one place so you don't forget. I still love my to-do lists. What I'm talking about here is taking your to-do list and intentionally picking what you will work on from that list each day. Not going down the list item by item, but getting clear on what you're trying to accomplish and picking those to-do list items that will complement your goal. And then once you pick those items, use time blocking to create a bit of structure so you don't get distracted. Each day, I only pick 3 to 5 items from my to-do list to focus on. I time block those tasks into my calendar and then get to work. There's no questioning what I need to do next. I just look at my calendar. Okay, that's what I need to focus on. Once I get those 3 to 5 tasks done, then I am free to do whatever I want. That gives me motivation to just get those items done, so I know at the end of the day I feel accomplished, and whatever else I was able to accomplish outside of those 3 to 5 tasks, I take it as a win, and it feels really good. If you want to dive deeper into this, grab my free Momentum Maker workbook. It's designed to walk you through this exact process and more, from getting into your CEO mindset, gaining clarity on your vision and goals, to tips to plan your day and stay organized based on your human design. It's packed with productivity hacks, and I'll leave the link below for you. Here's a reframe I want you to remember. Productivity isn't about squeezing the most out of your day. It's about working with intention, joy, and enough energy to enjoy your life outside of work. And sometimes the most productive thing you can do is take a nap. I'm serious. Naps are part of my business strategy, and they're blocked off on my calendar a few times a week. So don't forget to schedule in joy and rest too, because that white space on your calendar allows room for your intuition and creativity to come online. When you're constantly busy, how are you ever having time to think and envision your future or what needs to be done and just have that creative process to find ways to grow your business? You were not put on this earth to do endless tasks and wonder if it's going to be enough. You are here to build something that matters, to make an impact, to lead with clarity, to create with joy, and to show others what is possible when you stop hustling for your worth and start trusting your inner compass. Productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters with energy and intention. And the more you align your work to your human design and lead with purpose, the easier it becomes and your success becomes inevitable. If this episode gave you a little aha moment, I'd love to hear from you. What busy work are you ready to ditch this week? Leave me a comment telling me. I would love to celebrate with you. And don't forget to use the link below to download my free Momentum Maker workbook. It's your next step to putting this into practice and creating a business you actually enjoy running. It has lots of tips on productivity based on your human design too, so don't hesitate, get your workbook. Until next time, keep rebelling, keep rising. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Rebel to Rise, where business meets human design. I hope you feel inspired to break free from those shoulds in your life and trust your inner compass as you create a life and business that truly lights you up. Remember, every day is a chance to rebel against the ordinary and rise into your authentic power. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow rebel who is ready to lead their lives unapologetically. Until next time, keep trusting your intuition, keep breaking the rules, and most importantly, keep rising.